Over the years, men are the only faces in the public space, also in the front line of major fields of life. Women seldom take active roles in situations that require warrior-like conduct or activism. In fact, some climes forbid women being in some strategic posts. The reasoning is simple. Women are considered frail, fragile, and largely referred to as weaker vessels. This stance has tended to limit opportunities for women to exhibit bravery. On the societal ladder, men are preeminent, considered the head, the fighters, the leaders, and the strongest to successfully lead and win battles, while the women focus on domestic activities. Over time, and across the globe, the role of women in society has been relegated to the background, especially in Africa, where they are often heard than seen. However, recently, Nigerian women have proved the perception wrong with impactful valor, bravery, and gallantry on several fronts. They have proven to be good managers and professionals in many spheres of life. In Nigeria, women have broken barriers and stood out. Among them are the likes of Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala, who had a 25-year career at the World Bank in Washington, D.C. as a development economist, rising to the number 2 position of managing director. She led the Nigerian team that negotiated the cancellation of 60% of Nigeria's external debt, which amounted to $18 billion, equivalent of 6.8 trillion naira, with the Paris Club. She rose to occupy several prestigious positions, including Finance Minister and Minister of Foreign Affairs of Nigeria. She just recently shook the world by becoming the first woman and the first African to hold the coveted position of Director General, World Trade Organization. Another contemporary great woman is Josephine Obiajulu Oke-Odumakin, popularly known as Jo Odumakin. She is a Nigerian women's rights activist who has been involved in over 2,000 cases where women's rights had been disregarded, and she has frequently been arrested for her activism, detained 17 times during the military rule of Ibrahim Babangida for standing up against extrajudicial killings of women and their husbands by the police. In northern Nigeria, there is Aisha Imam, a Nigerian-born human rights activist. She was a former chief of the Culture, Gender and Human Rights Department of the United Nations Population Fund, where she also served as a pioneer national coordinating secretary. Aisha Imam was involved in the successful court appeal that overturned the death conviction of one Amina Lawal for adultery. Obiageli Ezekwesili, another familiar name, is a female public analyst, senior economics advisor, and a chartered accountant from Anambra State, who also was a minister in Nigeria. In March 2019, she won the Forbes Women Africa Social Influencer Award for her efforts on the Bring Back Our Girls campaign on social media. The list of formidable and strong women seems endless. Even before now, Nigerian women have proven themselves by breaking grounds where most men could not. History still reminiscents Fumilayo Ransom Kuti, mother of Fela, who fought against the Alake of Egba land in present-day Ogun State between 1946 and 1949. The brave woman led a massive protest against the Alake, which lasted for almost 4 years, causing self-exile of the monarch. Not just that, her activism led to the universal adult suffrage in Nigeria, allowing women to also vote in elections just as men on equal terms. In Nigeria, Queen Amina of Zauzau will always be remembered for her bravery and valor. She saw to the expansion of the territory of the Hausa-speaking people of North Africa to the largest borders in history. Ladi Kwali, the woman on the 20 naira Nigerian currency note, is another outstanding woman. She was a pioneer of modern pottery in Nigeria. Kwali became prominent for her talents in the 1950s with help from the famed English studio potter, Markell. who had helped launch the Abuja Poultry Training Center along with Kwali in 1952. Chief Margaret Eccle is another brave woman and a pioneering female politician in the country's first republic. How about Chief Kofoworola Abeni Pratt, a Nigerian nurse who became the first black nurse to work in Britain's National Health Service and the first black chief nursing officer of Nigeria working in the Federal Ministry of Health. Hajiya Gambo Sawaba was another Nigerian women rights activist, politician and philanthropist. She is widely regarded as the pioneer of fighting for the liberation of northern women, for which she was molested and detained so many times. Then there was Dora Kunily, who was the Nigerian Minister of Information and Communication from 2008 to 2010. She was a pharmacist and a governmental administrator who gained international recognition and won several awards for her work in pharmacology, public health, and human rights. We cannot forget Chief Olutoyin Olakunri, who was a Nigerian chartered accountant, philanthropist, and a businesswoman who was the first female chartered accountant in Africa. She served on several corporate boards and was chairman of Ted Fund Board of Trustees in Nigeria. Madam Wanyeruwa is another woman reputed to have led some local women in a non-violent protest against the imposition of taxation on Igbo women by colonial masters in the eastern part of Nigeria in 1929. These feats by women are not restricted to Nigeria. History in Africa and across the globe is full with tales of female bravery and prowess, some forgotten. But AD4 TV radio will bring them back to the front burner. For instance, the all-female army of Old Dahomey Kingdom, called the Amazons, in the present-day Benin Republic, contributed immensely to its acclaimed military might. The Amazons were mostly instrumental in the wars against neighboring kingdoms, often taking captives for the slave trade. Another brave female warrior figure was Queen Nani of Jamaica, a well-known leader of Jamaican Maroons in the 18th century. Queen Nani became an intelligent spiritual leader who was instrumental in organizing the plans to free enslaved Africans. She did that for over 30 long years, freeing more than 800 slaves and helping them settle into Maroon communities. Harriet Tubman is another black warrior that will always be remembered in the black history. Harriet was born into slavery but escaped to Philadelphia in 1849 and then immediately returned to Maryland to rescue her family and subsequently made more than 19 missions that saw to the rescue of more than 300 slaves. History will not be complete without mentioning Winnie Mandela of South Africa and Nana Konadu Rawlings of Ghana that stood by their husbands who were presidents. Winnie won the Robert Kennedy Human Rights Award along with fellow activists for their human rights work in South Africa. Nana Konadu in 2016 became the first woman to run for president in Ghana. In recent time, on the global scene, the likes of Margaret Thatcher, former Prime Minister of the United Kingdom from 1979 to 1990, is also a reference point. She gained intense media attention as Britain's first female Prime Minister and was popularly known as the Iron Lady because of her tough stance on governmental reforms. Angela Markell, a German politician who has been Chancellor of Germany since 2005, is also an enigma in her own right. She is the first female Chancellor of Germany, who many describe as the most powerful woman in the free world, and perhaps the whole world. Outside work, she leads an almost normal life. She is often seen shopping on her own, driving herself in such occasions, and even pushing her trolley in the supermarket. Women are better managers than men. People in some quarters have opined that. Though a man is said to be the head of the family, is this assertion always correct? Man is head of family in terms of providing resources, but a woman takes care of the children, also provides for the family, handles domestic tasks, and supports the man as the head of the family. Women are simply a unique and special gift from God. With the exemplary and outstanding brave roles played by women in Nigeria, Africa, and the world at large, it is safe to say women are also warriors.